And why I put love hearts on, all the love hearts are the actual manufacturing centres. And if any one of you, when you're going on holiday to any of these locations, if you want to visit Flowcrete and just, and go and say hello, you'll be welcomed with open arms. One thing I did do, and basically my MBE, one of our contractors phoned me up and said, "Hey Dawn, do you know what you got that for?" I said, "Oh, what?" Because I was really worried because, they say OBEs, like other buggers' efforts, and I thought he was going to be really rude, And he said, no, MBE stands for Making Business Enjoyable. And honestly, you can feel it, can't you, Jane? Yeah. No matter where you go within the Flowcrete empire across the world, you can feel this wonderful, warm, positive spirit within Flowcrete. So please, just go online, flowcrete.com, and go and visit them. I've still got one. I've still got a baby. I still own Flowcrete Brazil. I'm going over in a few weeks' time, and so I've basically now become a contractor. So I'm still looking after Brazil. Turnover about $1.5 million over there, over in Brazil, which is good. So yeah, that's what global, local. It really, really worked. And so we then were servicing the contractors in each of the regions, which was a wonderful. So how I developed, yeah. So Flowcrete now has got 400 people. Originally it was my dad, amazing inventor, but now they've got 15, constantly developing, yeah. And 30 countries, supply offices, supplying 50, 12 manufacturing sites. And really, we weren't selling products. What we were offering to the market, to clients, was actually transforming environments, yeah, inspiring the areas where we were doing the floors. So that's how we sold. Okay. So my quick vision for sensational success: go for a global. If you're developing, go for a global, local strategy. If you want to develop internationally. We've all got to really focus on the green element now, but be careful you don't greenwash, you've got to have it, the values and beliefs in your business for the environmental and sustainable side, it's got to be truly in your veins, yeah, really, really, okay. And what I'm coming on to now, you've got to succeed, you've got to have very, very strong leadership with very clear strategic vision of where you're going to bring your team together and really make a difference in the industry, okay? And now we're going to come on to my favourite bit about dreaming and daring and detoxing. Basically, a dream in my world is a clear strategic vision. Now, I bet you've all got them, but what I do highly recommend is you write that clear strategic vision down, and you almost project yourself 5 to 10 years forward of what you want your business to be like, in 5 to 10 years' time, and share that vision with your team. Get them as passionate as you about it. Yeah. So my first dream was industrial and commercial. I'm now on to my second dream on the barefoot side. Now this clear strategic vision, oh, I want to be world leader with seamless flooring at Flowcrete. Yeah, great, Dawn. How on earth are we going to do that? Huh? So what you have to do is to make it feasible and understandable. You have to break your dream down into little packages, don't you? And so what we did at Flowcrete, we actually segmented our markets into very defined areas. And so the industrial flooring was food industry, pharmaceutical, automotive, electronic, and manufacturing. And we had sales forces that just completely dedicated to those markets, selling to the manufacturing engineers. Okay, that was one. And then the other side, when we went to the commercial side, very, very different. Such a different market. This is actually selling into architects and getting specified. Industrial flooring was great. You could turn around the job within a week, to basically 3 months. Really fast turnaround. With the commercial side, it could be anything from 6 months to 10 years before you got that job. because we were into the specification market. Wow, what a different business model. So you have to really, yes, you've got your vision, but then you've got to get your plan of how to get there. So if you take nothing away, only this one thing from my talk today, it'll really influence your business, right? This is so important. I'm sorry, it's on the bottom here if everybody can see it. It's my philosophy on to make you really successful. I call it TLC. I know we know it as tender loving care, but in my book, TLC stands for thinking like a customer. Yeah, you've got to put yourself in their shoes, right? You've got to talk like that customer. You've got to use the same language. Now, we're in the construction industry, aren't we? We've got so many different types of customers that you need to use a different language with everyone. And this is what I was ranting and raving about within Flowcrete. We've got to use a different language. And then you've got to text like a customer. So the language you use within your letters, yeah, and emails, very important. Oh, one of my salesmen, he really taught me about this, and then we actually implemented it at Flowcrete. Tailor like a customer as well. One thing I do recommend, you know, it's, sorry, I was going to go on something else then about NLP, but I won't go there. One of my salesmen, yeah, he used to when he was going to see an architect, he always looked very dapper and stylish, beautiful shirts, very designer. And if he ever had to sell to women architects, he used to put bright blue contact lenses in as well. And I thought, wow. But if he was going to see a local authority, you know, he used his Marks and Spencer suit. And it was just like amazing. Amazing. And he taught me a lot. But then, when you look at these two markets, what we did, and it was very important, in the industrial flooring, for you manufacturers out there, what language does the manufacturing world talk? What are they obsessed with at the moment? And they have been for the last 5 years. Lean manufacturing, yeah? All your Six Sigma, Kanban, yeah? And so what I did with the industrial flooring side is actually train the whole salesman in the lean lingo of lean, yeah? Working with the manufacturing advisory service, and it worked. We dressed them in blue shirts with the logo on, just like the engineers in the manufacturing, and it really worked because they felt more at ease and had more rapport with the sales team. Honestly, it works. What have I got now? I'm dealing with women, very high net worth women, so I've got a lot to learn on how to communicate with those, so you know, that's going to be quite a challenge. So I haven't put the home market down here yet, because that's my next challenge. Right, let's move on. So yeah, segmenting your market, this dream, segmenting it down. And then there's 2 slides here on the real true formula for success in business. And I passionately believe you've got to go away today and look, what is unique about you? Why are you different from all your competitors? Yeah? And you've got to really, really dare to be different, to stand out from the crowd. A really unique strategic position you've got to have, right? And then what you've got to do is deliver it with operational excellence. And so constantly excellent all the time, so your customers come back again and again and again. And then the other side to the formula is really your team. Your team being as passionate as you about that business's success. Now, how many of you in this room actually measure your employee satisfaction? Come on, hands in the air, come on. How many of you do it? Oh! Thank you. Why? They're the biggest asset you've got. You know, the most important thing. Well, that's astonishing, Mr. Chairman. Excuse me. Can I see a change in your industry after this?